Welcome to another episode of Mastermind Bites. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I have the opportunity to help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Mastermind Bites, I feature another amazing individual. Over the last few years, I've had the privilege and the honor to meet some of the most amazing, most successful people on earth, some masters of their skill sets, and got to learn from them, hear their stories, and just be in their presence and absorb their energy and just really get a sense as to what a master championship mindset is like. And today I'm very, very happy to feature Mr. Grant Fuhr. This guy is somebody I idolize a lot, being from Edmonton, Alberta myself. How can you not love the Oilers? And Grant Fuhr and Bill Ranford are two of my most favorite goaltenders, and to have them play for the Edmonton Oilers at the time was absolutely amazing. And I got to watch them a lot, got to meet them a few times, and it was a great experience every single time. And Grant Fuhr is one of my favorite players because he is a clutch player. He is a 5-time Stanley Cup champion. He is a 6-time All-Star player. He is in the Hockey Hall of Fame. He has represented Canada 3 times at Canada Cups and World Championships. And the thing is, not only has he accomplished all that, but actually he is the very first Black player in the NHL or Black hockey player to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, to win a Stanley Cup, to be in an All-Star. And he is the first of so many things. But all in all, he is such an amazing guy and just a very, very clutch performer, calm, collected, very humble, and just a master at being a goaltender. In fact, he has held some of the most amazing records that you can even think of as a goaltender. He has a 23-game unbeaten streak as a rookie. And not only is 23-game unbeaten streak hard enough already, but as a rookie, that is absolutely impressive. He got into the All-Stars as a rookie. He's also an author and also he's also made the film Making Coco, which is his autobiography, which is absolutely an amazing film as well. So if you get a chance to pick up his book or watch his biography, it's really, really good, and you get to find so many of the behind-the-scenes stories that he tells, and it was a great time watching that series as well. He's known as one of the best goalies ever to play the game, one of the top 100 players in the NHL all time, and he's just one of those players that will not stop until they win. He tries really, really hard, he plays really, really hard, and he just has that mindset of a champion. Now, there's 3 main things that I really got out of his career and also got out of just meeting him and hearing his stories. And these 3 things really apply to the entrepreneur mindset. That is resiliency, that is being calm and humble, and also being a clutch performer. These 3 things apply to our every single day lives, also applies to being successful as an entrepreneur as well. Now, the very first thing about resiliency. Grant Fuhr has a prestigious career and has achieved so many different things. And I've listed a whole bunch of his achievements and his recognitions at the beginning of this show. But I also want to say that he had a lot of downs as well. And every single time people thought he was done, he was over with, he comes back and he shows you how much more he has left. He shows you that he's still good. He shows you that he still could be at the top of his game. And he did that at the very beginning. In fact, at the very beginning when he was drafted by the Edmonton Oilers, Glenn Saylor was not a big fan of this goaltender. He didn't think he could play net. He didn't think he was very good. He thought he flopped around too much. But boy, after he drafted him, the Grant Fuhr proved him wrong for sure. Within his very first season as a rookie, he became already an All-Star. He already became the number 1 goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers. However, he did lose his very first game as an Edmonton Oiler, but right after that, the next 23 games, he went undefeated, and he won the hearts of all Edmontonians at that time, and also the coach and his teammates. So he came back and showed that, no, you don't think I'm good enough? I'm going to show you otherwise. Now, the thing is, there's this whole thing about the sophomore jinx, and a lot of players go to their second year and may or may not do as well. And Grant Fuhr, sure enough, fell into that trap as well, and he did not play a very good second season. In fact, he played almost he played a certain amount of games, but he only won about 13 of them. And the thing is, 13 games winning would not be good enough. He was actually sent down to the American Hockey League to finish off the season and whatnot. So again, that sophomore jinx kind of came around, and Sather and some of the other teammates and also some of the fans were like, maybe that first year was just a fluke. But sure enough, he honed in his game again, and in year 3, he came back with a mission, and he did absolutely amazing, winning 30 games and only losing 10 of them, and basically reclaimed his spot as the number 1 goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers. And from that point forward, they won the very first cup in that season, and then also played lots of games as well. So after that, he just solidified his role as the number 1 goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers. Now, then you move on, and he showcased that he is going to be good enough. And in actually 87 and 88, he played 75 games out of 80 games in Edmonton. And playing 75 games is absolutely amazing, because not many goaltenders today can do something like that. So at that time, again, he showed that he can do it, and he did well with playing those games. And that's when they actually won their fourth cup. Now, the thing is, then another big downturn came. He had lots of soldiers injuries, had some problems with his health. And then also there was that big suspension in 1990 and 91. But once again, in 91, 92, he came back in number 1 goalie form and played well once again, and reclaimed the number 1 spot on the Edmonton Oilers as the goaltender. However, things in Edmonton kind of played its course. He got traded to Toronto, and then also to Buffalo and to LA. And during that period of time, he was not playing as well as lots of people hoped he would be. And in fact, lots of people basically decided that by the time he was in LA, he was done. In fact, he only played 17 games in LA and only won 2 of them. And lots of people thought, that's it. Grant Fuhr's career is completely over. And this is in the 94-95 season. Well, he was able to find another team, and he wanted to prove critics wrong. He wanted to prove people wrong and show that he still has a lot in him. And again, that resiliency just keeps on coming back and back and back again. And the thing is, he signed as a free agent with St. Louis, and he regained that number 1 form. In fact, he played his best season in the NHL that season, 10 years after he was playing with the Oilers. I mean, come on. He gained his best career stats in St. Louis. And not only did he achieve his best stats at that time, but he played a NHL record-breaking 79 games out of 82 games of the year. That is unheard of. I mentioned before in the 87-88 season, he played 75 games, and that was a lot. Well, he played 79 games. In fact, during that season, he played 76 games consecutively. And no other goaltender to this day has ever come close to breaking those records. And I'm pretty sure those records are pretty much there to stay. And in today's time, the goaltenders actually play maybe 40 games, 50 games a year, at most maybe 60, and then they split with their backups. But at the time, he played 79 games, and this is after everybody thought his career was done. And in fact, he was able to bring the St. Louis Blues out from being underdogs to becoming actual contenders for the cup that year. And unfortunately, that whole run kind of derailed when he got injured, and he was out of the playoffs partway through. But once again, his resiliency showed that he was strong enough to come back and prove people wrong time and time and again. Now, the second thing I talked about was his calmness and his humbleness. He was never the guy that goes around showcasing how much he's done, how much he's achieved, how great his numbers were, or how many awards he's won and all that kind of stuff. He never really cared about his stats. He never cared about his goals against average or anything like that. All he wanted to do is win, and he was out there to make sure that he's going to make the puck stop dead in his track. His job was to be there to help his teammates win, and that's all he cared about. He didn't look at he didn't really care about how the goals made him feel. He kept on, as long as things keep on going, he's just going to keep on playing. He's just going to keep on stopping pucks as much as he can. Now, if there's a goal that went in or a few goals that goes in, it doesn't phase him at all. No matter what happens during game, no matter the bad bounce or a bad goal, he wouldn't let that overcome him. He wouldn't go emotionally against everything. He'll just stay calm, be humble, and just keep on playing the game and keep on pushing forward. He would not let that derail him. Now, the thing is, when it comes to business and entrepreneurship, sometimes we have to be calm. Sometimes we can't let that first or second or third failure completely derail us from succeeding. We need to push on forward, focus on the end goal, focus on winning, and just keep on pushing and learning from our mistakes. I'm not saying you could keep on failing the same thing over and over again. I'm saying you fail once, learn from it, fail again, learn from that, and then keep on growing and growing. And that's exactly what Grant Fuhr did. He did not let the goals affect him too much. He kept on playing, kept on doing well, and he kept on stopping the next puck, next puck, next puck. So he just kept on pushing forward, stay calm, and not let his emotions overcome him. The third thing I want to talk about is how much of a clutch performer he is. The thing is, if you are in a championship game, if you are in a game that you must win, Grant Fuhr was the goalie for you. Grant Fuhr was that guy that you want in the nest because you know he's going to be there. He's going to do everything he can to not let that puck go in. And the thing is, he has that mindset. As long as he has one less goal than the other team, then that's all he needs to do. So he's going to be there, and he's such a clutch performer that's why they won so many games in the playoffs. That's why they won so many championships, because at the time, yes, the hockey world was a very offensive game. There's not much defense there. So a lot of times he was left hanging dry by the Edmonton Oilers defense. But the thing is, he was there. He made sure he didn't let that extra goal in. He did not let that next goal in that would derail the team. He may let in 4 or 5, but he won't let that 6th goal or that 7th goal that he knows that is needed to win the game. In fact, there was a story that they talked about where the team was down, I believe it was 2-4 at the end of the second period. And Grant Fuhr walked around the room, the dressing room during the second intermission and looked at every single player in the eyes and said, okay, we're down 2-4, but no more. There's not going to be any more goals. Just do what you need to do. Go out there. And that gave the confidence to the rest of the team members. And in fact, in period 3, the Oilers came out with a mission, and they scored the next 5 goals, winning that game 7-4. So he is a pure clutch performer, and he is somebody that you can count on to make that big game save that will allow you to win that game. So the thing is, when it comes to business as well, you need to focus on the end goal. We need to focus on when it counts. And sure enough, maybe there's a few bumps and bruises along the way, some bad deals here or there, or some misfortunate partnerships here and there. But as long as your goal is to win, your goal is to be successful, your goal is to be great at the business that you're working on, learn from it, grow from it, and become that clutch person when it counts. When that big deal is there, you're there to perform. When that big negotiation is there, you're there to negotiate, you're there to deliver, you're there to win. So be a clutch performer in your business, in your personal life as well. Now, the thing is, I also said that he was a person who was very humble. He was a person who was very calm and collected. And one funny story about Grant Fuhr during the one of the playoff seasons was that the media was really on his back about how come during right before a big game, he went out and played, I believe it was 3 rounds of golf. And they interviewed him and they asked that question, hoping that he'll give some kind of reasoning why he would forego practice instead and go and play 3 rounds of golf. And his response, well, there wasn't enough time to play 54 holes or for 4 rounds of golf. That's why we stopped at 3. So I thought that was pretty funny. But he knew what kind of performance he's going to need. He knew in his mind what kind of work that he had to put into it. And he was, again, that clutch performer, and they played well at that game as well. So once again, Grant Fuhr is a person of full of resilience. He's a calm and collected and humble individual, and he is a pure clutch performer. He is the #1 goaltender in the world. He is the #1 goaltender that in lots of people's eyes, and especially even in Mr. Wayne Gretzky's eyes. And when you can get a teammate like him claim that you're one of the best goaltenders, you're the best goaltender to play the game, then that is a big credit and big recognition right there. So one of the top 100 players in the world all time, and such an amazing individual. I've been able to meet him a couple of times. He's signed everything that we asked him to sign, take photos, and answer questions. So Grant Fuhr, one of the best, one of the masters of his skill set. And if you like this video, I have a few other episodes on other masters in their skills and mastermind bites if you would like to follow those. If you like this show, we also have the Unlock the Mind Behind Make More Work Less, the Peak Potential Success Show, and also Make More Mind Bites. So until next time, please like, subscribe, comment, give feedback, and share. And until next time, today is the day to unlock your potential. We'll see you later.